Good afternoon, and welcome to the commencement the commencement ceremonies for the class of 2016. I am Dr. Crystal Lucky. I'm a professor in the English department. I specialize in American literature, and I teach all kinds of courses that meet very early in the morning, and so only diehards take my classes. But I have taught a lot of the graduating seniors of the class of 2016 that we're going to be honoring today. And we're getting ready to start the 173rd commencement ceremony of Villanova University. I'm absolutely delighted to be here with you this afternoon. And as we get started, I'm going to ask that everyone take their seats. And also, if you would be so kind to check your cell phones to keep them from ringing and buzzing during the ceremony this afternoon. By now, I hope that you realize that Villanova University is a very special place. A phrase from St. Augustine, ever ancient, ever new, captures a bit of what we're about. We're ever ancient in that we remain in touch with the ancient values handed down to us from St. Augustine and St. Thomas of Villanova. All of our education is rooted in the values that you'll see on our seal: veritas, truth; unitas, unity; and caritas, love. And at the same time, our graduates have studied the latest thinking and learned the latest skills in their various fields. But now it's time to get our ceremony started. So I'll ask all of the graduates to rise from their seats and to remain standing, and we're going to honor you today, the class of 2016, as you take your place among the Villanova graduates who have gone before you. In the Villanova School of Business. Kyle is a finance and management information system double major from Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. He went to high school at Archbishop John Carroll, a mere 2 miles from campus. He is sad that his time in the White House, also known as 35 Thomas Avenue, is coming to a close, and he'd like to thank all the people that made his time at Villanova so special, especially the boys of C Block. And in addition to that, he'd like to thank his family for all their support that he's received over the past 4 years. I'd like to introduce you to our faculty who are processing in at this time. They are led by our faculty marshals, Dr. Ronald Chatterton, Professor of Civil and Environmental Engineering in the College of Engineering, and Dr. Robert Neidick, Professor of Management and Operations in the Villanova School of Business, who are entering before the stage party. Today, as our faculty marshals, they are carrying the university banner with the seal of Villanova. The seal contains the 3 words, veritas, unitas, and caritas, that I mentioned before, and it's on the cover of your program as well. In the middle of your seal, if you look at it, you will notice a very important symbol, the burning heart. Again, the concept comes from St. Augustine, who wrote once that, quote, his heart was burning with desire for wisdom. And one of the things that we pride ourselves on here at Villanova is that so many of our faculty and staff and students approach what we do with passion. We aren't blasé about what we do. We approach our teaching, our research, and our interactions with students with the kind of passionate intensity that you don't always find at other schools. Our faculty work with our students and for our students in their studies, in their internships, and in their service works with the hope of igniting them, to ignite their hearts on fire that reside within them. We have over 500 full-time faculty here at Villanova, as you'll see by the long procession, and most have a doctorate in their field. They are dedicated teachers, and most are also active in research and publication in their fields. As you can see, they are wearing a variety of colorful robes and hats. These robes are also rich in symbolism dating back to the early years of the university. Often, the robes themselves are in the colors of the schools from which the faculty member received his or her PhD or other graduate degree. Most faculty members also wear a hood. The outside of the hood indicates the school that granted the degree. And the second color signifies the field. For example, theology is always scarlet. You'll also notice at the bottom of the hood a funny little pocket. And that pocket, in the medieval tradition, was used for students to put money in for their professors. Now, unfortunately, times have changed, and the new models of robes also have a special pocket where the faculty members can keep their cell phones, and we don't get money anymore. Of course, none of our faculty members are going to be texting or checking their email during the ceremony, and I know none of our students are going to be texting during the ceremony, and I know we're all going to be paying attention. So as the faculty members continue to come in, why don't we give them a great round of applause for all of their dedication and the support that they've given our students throughout the year. those of our faculty processional. Let's give them one more hand. And now I'd like everyone to rise as we welcome our stage party. I'd like to introduce to you these individuals who will come to the stage as they come by. And leading our processional this afternoon is our university provost, Dr. Patrick Majidi. Dr. Majidi is carrying the mace, which is based on a medieval weapon and is now one of the president's symbols of authority and is only used at formal events where the university president is present. Behind him are the members of our board of trustees, and behind them are the members of the president's cabinet, which includes the university vice presidents. Our university deans follow the cabinet, and there are 6 college deans, a dean of enrollment management, and a dean of students in our procession today. Following the deans, you will see our honored guests, Sister Tisa Fitzgerald and George Raveling, who will be receiving honorary degrees today. We are honored to have them with us to celebrate the class of 2016. And finally, bringing up the rear is our university president, Father Peter M. Donahue, which concludes our procession. And his arrival marks the beginning of our ceremony. At Villanova, we begin most of our ceremonies with an invocation to our Creator. Although the majority of our graduates today are our undergraduates, we will also be celebrating the graduation of many of our graduate students. So we are delighted that our ceremony begins with an invocation by Megan Daly. You can clap for her. While pursuing her master's in theology and her certificate in pastoral ministry for the past 2 years, Megan has worked as a campus ministry intern living in Stanford Hall. Prior to her time at Villanova, Megan graduated from St. Joseph's University in 2010 with a Bachelor of Arts in Latin and worked at Rosemont College for 3 years as the coordinator of their service and social justice programs, where her passion for service and ministry flourished and led her to continue her studies. Megan hopes to use her education to continue her career in ministry and service and social justice education. Gentlemen, please remove your caps.
Let us pause for a moment to be mindful of God's presence within us and among all of us gathered here this afternoon. Loving and gracious God, we come here today with our hearts full of gratitude, full of hope and anticipation, and full of love at this momentous occasion for the Villanova University class of 2016. God, our hearts are grateful for the gifts you have given us during our time here at Villanova, the community, what we have learned, our memories, the people, all of the parts that have become part of who we are today as we sit surrounded by those who have supported and loved us throughout this journey. Give us hearts ever grateful to take those gifts forth from here and share them with our world. God, our hearts are hopeful for the future, for our next steps on our journeys, but they are also somewhat tentative, uncertain, for those of us leaving Villanova, a place that has become our home. Help us to trust in you, O God, our guide, that you go before us always, and that wherever we go from here, we must always seek you with our restless hearts. God, today as we celebrate the graduation of the class of 2016, our hearts are also full of love, a love that has been shaped by our studies, our friends, our professors, our families, and our faith in you, O Lord. In the words of St. Augustine, let the love we carry forward and out into the world be one that asks, that seeks, that knocks, that finds, and that is faithful to what it finds. And finally, with humble hearts, we ask you, O God, to bless the members of the Villanova University graduating class of 2016, their families and friends, the entire Villanova community, and all that lies ahead of us. Amen.
We are also blessed by many talented students at Villanova who share their gifts with the community throughout the year at sporting events and at concerts and at musicals. So it is my pleasure to introduce the senior students of Villanova's a cappella groups, the Villanova Singers, the Villanova Student Theater and Musical Theater, the Villanova Gospel Choir, the Villanova Singers, and the Villanova Band. Please join them in singing our national anthem. And gentlemen, if you haven't done so already, please remove your caps. Thank you. You may be seated. I am pleased to introduce Father John Stack, Vice President for Student Life, also a Villanova graduate, who will extend greetings to our students, to their parents, families, and guests.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, the faculty, and our president, Father Peter Donahue, it is my privilege to welcome all of you, graduates, parents, family members, and friends to Villanova's 173rd commencement. As we begin these commencement ceremonies, I ask you to think back to August 2012, when you were sitting in the grotto on the first day of orientation. When I spoke to you that day, I recounted the story of Alfred Noble. On the off chance that you forgot the story, here's a summary. The story goes that when Alfred Noble's brother died, a newspaper mistakenly published an obituary of Alfred himself, which emphasized the fact that he had invented things that blew up and killed people. The obituary stated, "The merchant of death is dead." Noble, not wanting to be remembered in that way, pledged his wealth toward the betterment of humanity, thus establishing the Nobel Prizes. I then said to you, picture yourself in May of 2016. What would you want to have written about you? What do you want your 4 years of Villanova to look like? Will your story be one of disappointment or of seized opportunities and potential fulfilled? Well, here we are. This weekend celebrates opportunities taken and promises fulfilled. We remember your many achievements. An acting class that brought out a different side of you, a great discussion about freedom in your ACS class, a late night gazing at the stars from the Mendel Hall, the completion of your senior project or thesis, your selection as a Fulbright Scholar, your first visit to the Career Center. If I could pause just a moment and speak to my nephew Jack and anybody like him, the Career Center is in Gary Hall. We also recall your days in clinical, hours upon hours in lab after lab, a habitat trip or a semester abroad. And remember the 5 of your classmates had a very successful trip to Houston, Texas, and so much more. We are proud of your many accomplishments and of the promises that you fulfilled, and are happy to celebrate with you today. You have contributed to the spirit of the Villanova community. But remember that this is commencement weekend. It is merely the beginning. You have changed Villanova for the better, but your challenge will be to continue to develop and use your talents to improve the world around you, wherever you find yourself. You will bring your Villanova friends with you as you leave, but make new friends and bring the Villanova spirit of care and love into everything you do. Your college years were hopefully good years, but make sure they are not the best years of your life. The best is truly yet to come. As you begin your commencement weekend, it's important to remember that you did not make it to this day alone. Many graduate students had the support of their spouses and children. Undergraduates, recall the many hours your parents supported you and challenged you to overcome difficulties along the way, allowing you to develop your talents. I ask the parents and spouses of our graduates to stand, and I ask the graduates to show your appreciation to them for all they have done for you. Welcome and congratulations to the class of 2016.
For the past several months, the colleges have held contests for the university commencement speaker. A few weeks ago, the deans reviewed the finalists from each college to choose the student commencement speaker for the class of 2016. It is with sincere pleasure that I introduce Ms. Daniela Ryman, College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, class of 2016, as this year's student speaker. Daniela is a biology major from Birmingham, Alabama. Next year, she will be conducting primate research in Cape Town, South Africa, near where she studied abroad during her junior year.
Father President, Board of Trustees, distinguished guests, college deans, faculty, staff, family, friends, and fellow graduates. It is a privilege to be here today, and I welcome you all, to Villanova's commencement for the class of 2016. As a biology major, a concept that always fascinated me is that humans are 99.9% genetically identical. With almost 7.5 billion people in the world, how is it possible for each person to be individually unique and contribute something globally monumental during a lifetime? Not everyone will be as inspiring as Pope Francis, as innovative as Steve Jobs, or as entertaining as Jimmy Fallon, though Piccolo Girl had her moment of fame. So how can we be sure that we have made a difference in a world where Spotify knows our music taste better than we do, and Google Maps predicts our every move before we even step foot out the door? Villanova's mission statement highlights the importance of supporting individual differences through mutual love and respect. Celebrating our uniqueness is what brings us to this stadium today and has led each one of us to have opportunities and experiences distinct from one another. Think back to over 4 years ago, sitting in your pajamas on a Saturday morning with your eyes glued to your computer screen, trying to answer Villanova's essay prompt, "What sets your heart on fire?" You may have had some of the similar existential thoughts that I mentioned earlier. What makes me extraordinary? I'm only a senior in high school. What if I don't know what sets my heart on fire? Well, the enthusiasm and inspiration behind your answer helped convey why you would be an integral addition to Villanova's passionate student body. Think back to what you wrote. I can guarantee whatever set your heart on fire then has changed more times than the status of Villanova's parking lots throughout the campus renovations. As a prospective student, I recall a Villanovan cautioning my parents that the average incoming freshman will change his or her major at least 3 times before the end of junior year. Though once he detected the alarm look on my parents' faces, he reassured them that it would all turn out okay. And seeing where we are right now, it definitely did. Of course, everyone from the ages of 18 to 22 experiences a time of immense personal growth. However, this time for the life of a Villanova student is much more. Through a well-rounded liberal arts education, we have learned that our differences, rather than act as roadblocks, become opportunities for us to grow more, discover more, and love more than we ever knew possible. Villanova has taught us to cherish and center our differences, much like the way the St. Thomas of Villanova Church centers campus and maintains its foundation, not only through the exhilaration of Special Olympics, Relay for Life, and Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service, but also through the blizzard of the snowpocalypse and the strong winds of Hurricane Sandy. The university's roots in Augustinian tradition continuously welcomes the gifts of individuals of every faith and culture that thrives on an exploration in order to ignite change. Exploration can't exist on its own, as it requires a platform. As our platform, Villanova has not only helped us become Rhodes Scholars, Goldman Sachs employees, servant leaders, healthcare providers, Army and Naval officers, and much more, but Villanova has also helped us become ourselves. Maybe you learned how to survive your first group engineering project, how to navigate the diverse city of Philadelphia trying to find the infamous sushi burritos, the secret to connecting to View mobile Wi-Fi as you finish a peace and justice essay, or how to thrive without Wi-Fi during your study abroad. But most importantly, how to celebrate a national championship win at the corner of Ithan and Lancaster Avenue. It's safe to say that our class has had the best possible ending to a senior year imaginable, one that will forever go down in history. Each moment that you have spent inside and outside the classroom has contributed to the person you have become today. So how do we know that we have made a difference in the world? Look left and right. We have helped set the fire in the hearts of the 1,600 graduates right here in this stadium. If you're in need of any last words of advice, as Ellen DeGeneres said, follow your passion and stay true to yourself. Never follow someone else's path. Unless you're in the woods and you're lost and you see a path, then by all means, you should probably follow that. I urge you to not only explore your passions, but also remember the fire Villanova has set in your heart as you explore the path of nonconformity. Sharing 99.9% of our genetic makeup with the global population only leaves a little room for cultivating our unique differences. Having the opportunity to call Villanova home the past 4 years contributes to that less than 1% difference and distinguishes us from the rest of the world. And if anyone knows how to make the 1% chance count, especially at the buzzer, it's Villanova. Keep forever in your minds our class slogan created for our 2012 freshman orientation. Discover your capabilities. Live the possibilities. Together, we are limitless. Thank you, go Cats, and good luck, class of 2016.
Thank you, Daniela. Y'all look like you have a fan club out there. It's now my pleasure to introduce Father Peter M. Donahue, the 32nd president of Villanova University, and Dr. Patrick Majidi, provost of Villanova. As provost, Dr. Majidi directs all academic endeavors of the university. And along with members of our community, Father Donahue and Dr. Majidi will now begin the conferral of degrees, which is the centerpiece of this ceremony, and they will begin with our honorary guests.
I'll get there in a second.
It's page 18.
Page 18. Thank you, Father. Now you know what it's like every day of the week. Thank you, Dr. Lucky, for that nice introduction. And let me once again welcome all of our graduates, their family and guests, as well as our staff and our wonderful faculty colleagues. I'd also like to give a special welcome to two esteemed guests from our partner schools, the American University of Science and Technologies in Lebanon, who are joining us on stage today. Please welcome American University of Science and Technologies President, Ms. Hiyam Sakar, and Provost Dr. Nabil Hadar, who we are pleased to have joining us. Thank you. This weekend's celebrations are referred to as Commencement because they mark a new beginning, a time when we take what we have learned and experienced and commence with our life. So today really is the first day of the rest of our lives. While the uncertainty of the future may cause some apprehension, commencement is a crucial moment in your lives, lives that are full of promise, of hope, of values, all of which you learned through the course of your lives, beginning with your parents, families, and communities, and continuing during your time here at Villanova. You have all learned much in the classroom about your field of study here at Villanova, but it is your values that will guide your decisions no matter what company, volunteer organization, or graduate school is the next stop in your own journey. You are called upon to have the strength of conviction to differentiate yourselves as Villanovans who are creative problem solvers and who always act in a manner that is true to your moral and ethical compass. I can still remember the moment several years ago when I was dean of the business school, standing at a podium like this in New York City, when I realized I no longer had to ask, but I could set an expectation for our graduates to remember their Villanova family, that we are all part of the Villanova family. Today, I share that expectation with you, an expectation not to forget that you will forever represent Villanova. You are Villanova, and we are proud to share in this celebration as you commence with lives full of impact and purpose. Congratulations. Each year at Villanova, we grant a small number of honorary degrees to individuals who in their fields have truly ignited change, and I would like to recognize them now. In your program on pages 6 through 8, you may find a more detailed description of their many accomplishments. It is my privilege now to introduce Dr. Megan Quigley, Assistant Professor of English in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, who will present Sister Tisa Fitzgerald for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters.
Good afternoon. Like many of you here today, and like the many incarcerated women that Sister Tisa Fitzgerald has worked with for 30 years at Our Children, I am a mother. When I'm not with my children, I worry about them. Are they safe? Are they making good decisions? Do they know how much I love them? I asked Sister Tisa if there was a transformative moment when she realized that she wanted to help mothers in prison and their children. She told me that it was meeting the mothers for the first time that changed her life. God granted her a moment of grace, she said, the first time that she saw the mothers' faces after a prison visit with their children. The children ran off happily enough, but the mothers had a look of fear. How would their families make it through the many hours until they were out of prison? And could they survive after? And the hour of Our Children refers to those hours. Sister Tisa said her Irish immigrant parents raised her with 4 basic pillars: education, work ethic, family, and faith. These are probably familiar to many of us here today. But by no fault of their own, Sister Tisa realized, these incarcerated women lacked these pillars. They were born into terrible structures, made terrible decisions, and were paying the consequences. Sister Tisa founded Our Children to provide the 4 pillars for these women and for their children. Based on the very simple principle, love God, love thy neighbor, Our Children also provides, as Sister nicely put it, the common sense elements needed to women leaving prison: shelter, clothes, food, and most importantly, community. And it works. How do we define success? Sister Tisa asked me. For a mother coming out of prison, simply getting herself and her children dressed, making breakfast, and getting out the door to a new job on time is the definition of success. As Villanova graduates, here today, or from Villanova's own Graterford Prison Program, where incarcerated students are graduating with liberal studies degrees, or as Villanova parents and friends, our definitions of success are going to vary, and they change from day to day, as life gives us different challenges. Today, though, I am humbled to honor Sister Tisa's success in social justice, her success at helping hundreds of women and their families, of creating, in the spirit of Villanova's mission, more equal opportunities for all of our children. Father President, in honor of the many women and children whose lives she has changed, and for her witness to Villanova's Catholic faith and commitment to social justice, it is with great joy that I present to you, for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, Tisa Fitzgerald.
In the name of the Board of Trustees and the faculty of Villanova University, I confer on you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
It now gives me great pleasure to introduce Jay Wright, Villanova University men's basketball head coach. as he will present George Raveling, Villanova class of 1960, for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters.
Thank you. I'd first like to thank Pat and Father Peter for allowing me to be here today with the winningest class in Villanova basketball history on their graduation day. And also to introduce this great man. Basketball player, pioneer coach, motivational speaker, author, Hall of Famer. These are just a few of the titles that could be used to describe our 2016 commencement speaker, George Raveling. However, as he will tell you, one of the titles he wears most proudly is that of Villanovan. Coach Raveling is a Villanovan in the truest sense of the word. This past fall, he was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame, and throughout his speech, he demonstrated the qualities often used to describe members of our community. He was humble, saying that the recognition was a we award, not a me award, because rarely does anyone achieve any success without the support of others. He was gracious, thanking coaches, professors, players, family, and friends who helped him along the way. And he has had a positive impact, leaving a significant mark on the sport of basketball, breaking down racial barriers as a coach and becoming a well-respected and admired figure amongst his professional and personal peers. 56 years ago, Coach Raveling was sitting right here where you are, about to graduate from Villanova. He has spoken of the impact the Villanova community, including his legendary coach, Alexander Severance, had on his development as a young man, instilling the knowledge, skills, discipline, passion, and confidence he needed to achieve his dreams. Coach Raveling is held in great esteem in the basketball community. For someone of his stature, who has received countless honors, to remark that his selection as the commencement speaker at Villanova is one of the most meaningful honors he has ever received says it all. He knows, as we all do here today, what a special and unique place Villanova is. And I can think of no better person to deliver the commencement speech to the class of 2016 than George Raveling. Father President, for his leadership role in breaking down racial barriers as a coach, for exemplifying the values of our Augustinian community, and for the distinction that he has brought to Villanova University, it is with great honor that I present to you for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, George Raveling.
In the name of the Board of Trustees and the faculty of Villanova University, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Thank you, Jay, for that gracious introduction. And I wish to recognize the great president, Father Peter Donahue, the trustees, distinguished members of the faculty, honored guests. Today is a new beginning, a commencement, a moment of celebration. We celebrate you, the class of 2016. We also celebrate and express appreciation for the loving families, the friends, the professors who have supported each of you along your journey. Of course, over the past few years as students, you have experienced triumphs, defeats, hopes, fear, laughter, and tears, all in search of meaning and purpose for your lives. Today, you are richer for it. You stand victorious. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Today is your day. Today is your day. To be your commencement speaker is a most unique and privileged opportunity. To be here with such honorable people is a special moment for a little black kid from Northwest Washington, D.C. It's a special moment in my life. I've come home, and I'm emotionally engaged with my Villanova family. Frankly, this well might be the most important speech I've ever had an opportunity to give. My chest actually hurts right now from the beautiful pain of excitement. Excitement from attending this graduation. Honestly, only me and my laundryman know how nervous I am right now. Graduates, please join me in thanking Villanova for its tireless commitment to academic excellence. From the very beginning, Villanova has gone into battle with truth as its only weapon, integrity as its only shield, and conscience as its only guide. Hoping that they will touch souls and teach minds. Villanova has inspired each of us not only to perform better, but to be better. You will find, as I have, that Villanova will always be a place that we call home. Thank you, Villanova, for all you've done to infuse and fuel our lives. I'd be remiss if I fail to talk about the stellar achievements of our national basketball championship team. And I'd like to make a special call out for our extraordinary and yet most effective servant leader, Jay Wright. In Houston, a fire was ignited, and it became electrifying. And part of the electricity took place right here in this pavilion during the game. It was magnetic and certainly a legacy that will never be forgotten. Frankly, this is a defining milestone that will change the trajectory of the lives of the coaches and the players forever. And let me hasten to remind each and every one of us here that this is just another overt example of Villanova's embodiment of excellence. This afternoon, I wish to speak to you from my heart with compassion to your heart. Much like the old black country preacher who stood before the congregation and prayed, "Dear God, help me deliver a message today that will touch the hearts of those gathered here, and let it come out and manifest itself in their lives." So I ask you to share with me and taking a little mystical journey back to September 18, 1956. And the scene locates us at the busy intersection of Lancaster and Ithan Avenues, the gateway to Villanova's campus. As we arrive at this location, a Greyhound bus suddenly comes to a stop. The doors open, and departing is a 6'4" black young man who answers to the name of George Raveling. Immediately, we notice that he is carrying a suitcase and a large Army duffel bag. The luggage contained their traditional men's apparel, but upon deeper examination, it revealed that he was also carrying dreams, goals, hopes, as well as his fears, his insecurities, and his uncertainties. After settling into Austin Hall, he was quite eager and anxious to start the next morning, a moment that would be the beginning of a journey filled with transformational and self-discovery. How Villanova has changed since 1956. In 1956, if you were a student, and there were 3,626 of them at the time, you had to wear a coat and tie to class. You had to wear a coat and tie to every meal except on Sunday. There were 11 black students on this campus in 1956, and 10 of them were on athletic scholarships, and the other 2 were on academic scholarships. The next 4 years passed in rapid succession. Reflecting back on the core ingredients of an educational setting, professors, students, books, classes, studying, and those all ever so challenging examinations. Allow me to sum up this in most valuable experience in 2 words: skill development. Through the consistent engagement of analytical and critical thinking, problem solving, listening to my peers, relationship building, I soon discovered the hidden treasures within me. And I began to focus more intently on the meaning of life. Villanova taught me to look beyond what is into what can be, and to look further into what should be. Villanova placed me on a path to leverage my true potential, living my story every day. I feel compelled to make this statement of fact. The inconvenient truth is that Villanova changed my life as well as saved my life. My professors, coaches, classmates, together they cast a transformative light on me. They rescued me from a life of uncertainty and mediocrity. And in the process, they gave my life new meaning and definition. Villanova took me from where I was to where I needed to be. It clothed me with knowledge, wisdom, character, commitment, and strategies. And then they wrapped me with confidence, persistence, self-awareness, curiosity, and passion. This wonderful institution sent me off in pursuit of excellence. For some of you, you will have a similar application. You just don't know it yet. Over the course of my 78 years, I've stuffed my suitcase of life experiences with valuable lessons learned. I'd like to share 5 of them that I believe will fuel your personal success. First, make every day a masterpiece. Let what you do be an expression of who you are. Each day, you possess 86,400 seconds of opportunity to be a little better person than you were the day before. Face every precious moment with your best contributions to grow, to learn, to prosper, and ultimately recognizing this: if it is to be, it's up to me. Second, be accountable to yourself. Hold yourself to only one standard, the very best version of yourself. Start by being accountable to yourself. The toughest battle a person has to fight is to live in a world where every single day someone's trying to make you be someone you don't want to be. If you work toward being normal, you will never know how amazing you can be. Oscar Wilde once said, "Be yourself. Everyone else is taken." Third, construct a personal development plan. We no longer live in a nation where our work is done by the body. Our daily work is now performed by the mind. Investing in your self-development is the best investment you'll ever make. Design the life you wish to live. Live it always, because life's always under construction. Don't be afraid to challenge the status quo. In today's workplace, it's not what you know. It's not who you know, it's what you know. In today's workplace, it's not who you know, it's what you know. Next, surround yourself with as many extraordinary people as possible. Follow the footprints of successful people. Research confirms that the #1 way to make strong improvement in your life is to associate with people who you aspire to be like. Those individuals will lift you up, challenge you, help you reach your outer limits. If you want to travel fast, travel alone. If you want to travel far, travel together. And finally, create a lasting legacy for yourself. How do you want to be remembered? You have to create a reputation that will follow you through your life. Carve your name on hearts and not tombstones. Make your life an awesome story of love, of courage, of perseverance. Just imagine if tomorrow was your last day on earth, how would you like to be remembered? Leave behind shoes that no person can fill. I think now you can see why I wanted to share these life lessons with you. And in conclusion, I want to leave you with this final message. As you travel the highways and the byways of life in pursuit of excellence, there will inevitably be moments of despair and uncertainty, negativity and disappointment. And when those bumps in the road occur, perhaps this meaningful verse will comfort you. If you can't be a pine on the top of the hill, be a scrub in the valley, but be the best little scrub on the side of the hill. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. Because it isn't by size that you'll win or you'll lose. Be the best of whatever you are. Thank you for providing me with this most humbling experience. Go Villanova. We love you always.
Thank you very much. Mr. Raveling, you at one point said you set out to touch our hearts. You certainly did that, and you also embody excellence, as you say we do here at Villanova. Thank you very much for those words. We are here today to honor our graduates, but we also owe an enormous debt of gratitude to the faculty members who have taught, advised, mentored them every step of the way. At this time, I would like all of our faculty members to stand, and may we please have a round of applause for all they have done for our graduating class. Each year at graduation, we honor 4 very special faculty members, one for teaching, one for research, one for service, and one for their work as an adjunct faculty member, and I would like to recognize them now. Please hold your applause until we introduce all 4 awardees. As St. Augustine says, the love of knowledge and truth should invite us to continue learning. The love of others should compel us to teach. At Villanova, our primary mission is teaching, and each year, through the generosity of the Christian R. and Mary F. Limback Foundation, we honor a faculty member who exemplifies excellence in undergraduate teaching. This year's Limback winner is Dr. Elizabeth Bruderly, Clinical Assistant Professor of Nursing. Dr. Bruderly started teaching at Villanova in 1990. She enjoys using innovative strategies to enhance student learning, including peer mentoring and simulated patient care scenarios. Dr. Bruderly's students have consistently praised her effectiveness as a teacher and mentor and deeply appreciate her personal commitment to their success in the nursing profession. But our faculty members are not just teachers. Nearly all of them are advancing the frontiers of their fields through their research and publication. Each year, we also honor a faculty member for outstanding research. This year, the research award goes to Dr. Robert Traver, Professor of Civil and Environmental Engineering. Dr. Traver is completing his 28th year at Villanova. He currently serves as the Edward A. Daler Chair in Civil Engineering. Dr. Traver's research focuses on sustainable stormwater management and green infrastructure. He is an excellent leader of a research team which has secured funding from foundations and government grant programs. Dr. Traver shares his expertise with municipalities in our region and across the United States and has influenced the design of Villanova's campus. In addition to teaching and research, our faculty also contribute an enormous amount of their time to service in advising students and working on committees to update our curriculum and improve our programs. Dr. Suzanne Toten, Associate Professor of Theology and Religious Studies, is this year's recipient of the Faculty Service Award, named for Father Lawrence Gowan, a beloved faculty member and administrator. Since her appointment to the faculty in 1978, Dr. Toten's service has focused on advancing the Catholic and Augustinian mission of the university, which encourages students and faculty to pursue virtue by integrating love and knowledge and by committing themselves to research and education for justice, with a special concern for the poor and compassion for the suffering. She has taught community-based learning courses, served on the staff of the Center for Peace and Justice Education, led immersion trips, and for the past 11 years has coordinated the university's partnership with Catholic Relief Services. This partnership has generated opportunities for the university community at every level to collaborate with CRS in building a more just and peaceful global society. The Pohlhaus Stracciolini Award for Excellence in Teaching is presented to an adjunct faculty member who demonstrates a commitment to the life of the mind and to the well-being of students through teaching that is intellectually stimulating, challenging, and accessible, with efforts extending beyond the classroom. This year's award winner for the Pohlhaus Stracciolini Award is Dr. Bridget Dwyer. Dr. Dwyer is Villanova's director of the program on intergroup relations and a part-time faculty member since 2013. She teaches courses on topics such as leadership in the global economy, diversity and inclusion, race and gender, and intergroup dialogue. As a staff member and as a teacher, Dr. Dwyer works with faculty and students to create a better understanding among people from different social, economic, racial, and ethnic groups. May we please have a round of applause for our 4 faculty awardees. And now, graduates, your moment is at hand. The president will now confer degrees on the class of 2016. The graduates of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences will be presented by Dr. Adele Lindemeyer, Dean of the college.
Candidates who are approved for bachelor's degrees in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, please rise and remain standing until your degrees have been conferred. Father President, it is my pleasure to present the following representative from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences to receive the hood and diploma on behalf of the college. I present Mr. Michael Collins. Michael was a double major in philosophy and history, a member of Phi Alpha Theta History Honor Society, and an active leader in several clubs and student organizations, including the Student Leadership Advisory Council and the Villanova Philosophy Club, where he served as president. From Villanova, he will be pursuing a Juris Doctor degree at Duke University. And all of the candidates from the college who are approved by the faculty of the university and whose names appear on the official list for graduation to receive the following degrees: Bachelor of Arts Honors Program, Bachelor of Science honors program.
By the authority committed to me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer on you the degree to which you are entitled, admitting you to all rights and privileges which throughout this world pertain to that degree. In testimony whereof, you will receive the diploma of the university, officially signed and sealed with the seal of the corporation. Congratulations.
Graduates, please be seated. The master's degree and doctoral candidates of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences will be presented by Dr. Christine Pallas, Dean of Graduate Studies in the college.
Candidates who are approved for master's degrees in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences will please rise and remain standing until their degrees have been conferred. Candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree and their research directors will please come forward. Father President, it is my pleasure to present the candidates from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences who are approved by the faculty of the university and whose names appear on the official list for graduation to receive the following degrees: Master of Arts, Master of Public Administration, Master of Science in Applied Statistics, Master of Science in Biology, Master of Science in Chemistry, Master of Science in Computer Science, Master of Science in Counseling, Master of Science in Human Resource Development, Master of Science in Psychology, and Master of Science in Software Engineering. And I present for Doctor of Philosophy degree in the discipline of philosophy the candidates who are approved by the faculty of the university and whose names are on the official list for graduation.
By the authority committed to me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree to which you have been entitled, admitting you to all rights and privileges which throughout the world pertain to that degree. In testimony whereof, you will receive the diploma of the university, officially signed and sealed with the seal of the corporation. Congratulations to all of you.
Father President, I present Derek Aggleton, Doctor of Philosophy, and his research director, Dr. Walter Brogan, Professor of Philosophy. Father President, I present Jessica El-Kayem, Doctor of Philosophy, and her research director, Dr. Walter Brogan, Professor of Philosophy. Father President, I present Elizabeth Irvine, Doctor of Philosophy, and her research director, Dr. Walter Brogan, Professor of Philosophy. Father President, I present Jessie Dern-Cisco, Doctor of Philosophy, and her research director, Dr. John Carvalho, Professor of Philosophy. Father President, I present Paul Camacho, Doctor of Philosophy, and his graduate program director, Dr. James Wetzel, Professor of Philosophy. Father President, I present Joshua Nunziato, Doctor of Philosophy, and his research director, Dr. James Wetzel, Professor of Philosophy. Father President, I present Terry Maximovich, Doctor of Philosophy, and her graduate program director, Dr. Annika Thiem, Associate Professor of Philosophy. Father President, I present Christopher Noble, Doctor of Philosophy, and his research director, Dr. Julie Klein, Associate Professor of Philosophy.
The graduates of the College of Engineering will be presented by Dr. Gary Gabriel, the Drozdick Endowed Dean of the college.
Candidates who are approved for the bachelor's and master's degrees in the College of Engineering will please rise and remain standing until the degrees have been conferred. Candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree and their research directors, please come forward. Father President, it is my pleasure to present Mr. Brandon Wesley as the representative from the College of Engineering to receive the hood and diploma on behalf of the college. Brandon is a graduating summa cum laude as a chemical engineer with minors in bioengineering and biology. He has completed his thesis in gene therapy under Dr. Elmer and was inducted into the Engineering Honor Society Tau Beta Pi in his junior year and has led a mission trip to Costa Rica to promote an understanding of global sustainability. He is a third-degree black belt, having practiced martial arts for 16 years, and he is currently writing his first novel. He is one of 35 Americans to be awarded the Gates Cambridge Full Scholarship to the University of Cambridge. And just to prove that engineers can do anything, he will be pursuing a PhD in surgery to explore stem cell therapies for degenerative diseases. And all the candidates from the college who are approved by the faculty of the university and whose names appear on the official list for graduation to receive the following degrees: Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, and Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, Master of Science in Biochemical Engineering, Master of Science in Chemical Engineering, Master of Science in Civil Engineering, Master of Science in Computer Engineering, Master of Science in Electrical Engineering, Master of Science in Mechanical Engineering, Master of Science in Sustainable Engineering, and Master of Science in Water Resources and Environmental Engineering.
That's cybersecurity.
And Master of Science in Cybersecurity. And I present for Doctor of Philosophy degree in the discipline of engineering the candidates who are approved by the faculty of the university and whose names appear on the official list for graduation.
By the authority committed to me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree to which you are entitled, admitting you to all the rights and privileges which throughout the world pertain to that degree. In testimony whereof you will receive the diploma of the university, officially signed and sealed with the seal of the corporation. Congratulations.
Father President, I present Ryan Lee, Doctor of Philosophy, and his research director, Dr. Robert Traver, Professor of Civil and Environmental Engineering. Father President, I present Maria Nydia Felix Lynch, Doctor of Philosophy, and her research directors, Dr. Justinus Satrio, Assistant Professor of Chemical Engineering, and William J. Kelly, Professor of Chemical Engineering. Father President, I present Jill McAfee Spolina, Doctor of Philosophy, and her research director, Dr. James Peyton Jones, Professor of Electrical and Computer Engineering. Father President, I present Surav Kumar Subadi, Doctor of Philosophy, and his research director, Dr. Yimin Zhang, Research Professor of Electrical and Computer Engineering. Father President, I present Di Zhang, Doctor of Philosophy, and her research director, Dr. Gang Fang, Associate Professor of Mechanical Engineering.
The graduates of the School of Business will be presented by Dr. Daniel Wright, the Interim Dean of the Villanova School of Business.
Candidates who are approved for both bachelor's and master's degrees in the School of Business will please rise and remain standing until their degrees have been conferred. Father President, it is my pleasure to present Ms. Colleen Topper as the representative from the School of Business to receive the hood and diploma on behalf of the college. Colleen is graduating summa cum laude, a finance major and honors minor. She is a member of Beta Gamma Sigma Business Honor Society. Colleen served on the Special Olympics Committee at Villanova and was a peer advisor and an ambassador in the Villanova School of Business. Colleen will pursue a Master of Science in Clinical Nutrition at New York University and plans to integrate her finance degree with her graduate study in nutrition. And all of the candidates from the school who are approved by the faculty of the university and whose names appear on the official list for graduation to receive the following degrees: Bachelor of Business Administration, Master of Accounting and Professional Consultancy, Master of Business Administration, Master of Science in Analytics, Master of Science in Church Management, Master of Science in Finance, and Master of Taxation.
By the authority committed to me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree to which you are entitled, admitting you to all the rights and privileges which throughout the world pertain to that degree. In testimony whereof you will receive the diploma of the university, officially signed and sealed with the seal of the corporation. Congratulations.
The graduates of the College of Nursing will be presented by Dr. Louise Fitzpatrick, Connolly Endowed Dean of the college.
Candidates who are approved for both bachelor's and master's degrees in the College of Nursing, will you please rise and remain standing until your degrees have been conferred? And candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree and your research directors, please come forward. Father President, it is my pleasure to present Ms. Villanova Lipsky as the representative from the College of Nursing to receive the hood and diploma on behalf of the college. Villanova from California will receive her Bachelor of Science degree. She's graduating summa cum laude. She also minored in Spanish and became fluent thanks to a Connolly de Louvrier summer scholarship through the College of Nursing for study in Spain. She's volunteered all 4 years in Special Olympics and many other activities of service on campus. As a young child, she survived serious illness and it drew her to nursing. She also has completed a summer internship at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. And after graduation, Villanova plans to become an oncology nurse. And all the candidates from the college who were approved by the faculty of the university and whose names appear on the official list for graduation to receive the following degrees: Bachelor of Science in Nursing and Master of Science in Nursing with concentrations in nursing education, healthcare administration, nurse anesthesia, and nurse practitioner preparation in pediatric primary care, adult and gerontology primary care, and family practice.
By the authority committed to me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree to which you are entitled, admitting you to all the rights and privileges which throughout the world pertain to that degree, in testimony whereof you will receive the diploma of Villanova University, officially signed and sealed with the seal of the corporation. Congratulations.
And I present for the Doctor of Philosophy degrees the following individuals. Father President, I present Eileen Fien Choi, Doctor of Philosophy, and her research director, Dr. Mary Pickett, Associate Professor of Nursing. Father President, I present Katie Hooven, Doctor of Philosophy, and her research director, Dr. Nancy Schartz-Hopko, Professor of Nursing. Father President, I present Christina Lamb, Doctor of Philosophy, and her research director, Dr. Linda Coppell, Professor of Nursing. Father President, I present Patricia Ann Ortwich, Doctor of Philosophy, and her research director, Dr. Linda Coppell, Professor of Nursing. Father President, I present Christina Whitehouse, Doctor of Philosophy, and her research director, Dr. Nancy Hopko, Professor of Nursing.
We're on Christina Lamb.
Father President, I present Christina Lamb, Doctor of Philosophy, and her research director, Dr. Linda Kopel. Father President, I present Patricia Ann Ostrich, Doctor of Philosophy, and her research director, Dr. Linda Kopel. Next is Christina Whitehouse, Doctor of Philosophy, and her research director, Dr. Nancy Schartz-Hopko. Father President, I present Nancy Wise, Doctor of Philosophy, and her research director, Dr. Mary Ann Cantrell, Professor of Nursing. Father President, I present Maria von Pelt, Doctor of Philosophy, and her research director, Dr. Suzanne Smeltzer, Professor of Nursing.
The graduates of the College of Professional Studies will be presented by Deborah Tiksinski, Dean of the College of Professional Studies.
For the first time ever, candidates who are approved for bachelor's degrees in the College of Professional Studies, please rise and remain standing until your degrees have been conferred. Father President, it is my pleasure to present Mr. Willie James Abney as a representative of the College of Professional Studies to receive the hood and diploma on behalf of the college. Willie majored in business management with a strong interest in analytics and will receive his bachelor's degree in business administration. 10 years ago, Willie began the long road to completing what he started here at Villanova in 1980. Determined not to allow his past to become his legacy, Willie met every challenge set before him and was able to maintain a 3.25 GPA since his acceptance in 2013. Willie's quest for knowledge and higher education was embedded many years ago by the Villanova spirit and burns even brighter today, having achieved this milestone as a member of the Nova Nation. Veritas, Unitas, and Caritas remain Willie's mission as he tutors youth as a master chess player, mentors first-level managers at SEPTA, and is a staunch supporter of the Sovereign Leadership Program here at Nova. Willie plans to volunteer here at Villanova as a mentor while seeking to obtain his master's degree in business analytics in the fall. And all the candidates from the school who were approved by the faculty of the university and whose names appear on the official list for graduation to receive the following degrees: Bachelor of Arts, Major General Arts, Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies, and Bachelor of Business Administration.
By the authority committed to me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree to which you are entitled. admitting you to all the rights and privileges which throughout the world pertain to that degree. In testimony whereof you will receive the diploma of the university, officially signed and sealed with the seal of the corporation. Congratulations.
Father Donahue will administer the Pledge of Loyalty to the graduates of the class of 2016. He will be joined by Ms. Tracy Brala, President of the Villanova University Alumni Association. Graduates, please stand.
Today, you join more than 118,000 graduates of Villanova University worldwide. We are enormously proud of our graduates who have brought honor to Villanova through their commitment to their families, dedication to their work, service to their communities, and to the larger world and love of their Creator. Your years at Villanova have been spent in preparation to join this company and to take your place in the larger world. Our faculty and staff have challenged you to grow in knowledge and skill, but also to grow ethically and spiritually. We have tried to share our wisdom and also to be models for you. From now on, you will enjoy the honor and the reputation that goes with receiving a degree from a great university, Villanova. By accepting the honor that you have also undertaken a responsibility to uphold the high standings of this institution and to acquit yourselves with honor, decency, and courage, striving to make the world a better place for those who follow you. I ask you now to commit yourself to that trust by repeating the pledge taken by all Villanova graduates. I will ask Ms. Tracy Brala, President of the university's Alumni Association, to lead you in that pledge, which she first took when she graduated in 1990. Members of, oh, that's you. Okay.
Members of the graduating class of 2016, please repeat after me. With a solemn sense of my responsibility, I pledge myself to hold my degree as a sacred trust, an emblem of my obligation to serve, to hold it with untarnished honors to myself, in generous loyalty to Villanova University, and with my fidelity to my God, my country, and humanity.
And may God direct you in all your decisions and further you with continued help, that in the generous service of your life, begun, continued, and ended in faith, you may glorify the name of God and finally, by God's mercy, obtain everlasting life. Amen. First, congratulations to all of you. Whether you graduate today with a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, or a doctorate degree, you are now part of Villanova alumni. And for some of you who are receiving master's degrees and doctoral degrees, this may not have the same significance, but those of you who started here as freshmen or as new students transferring into the institution, I want to say, first of all, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for holding graduation inside. I had no control over it whatsoever. So the rains came, but I thought it was kind of appropriate that when you were freshmen or new students here, this is where you began your career at Villanova. This, if you remember correctly, this was the last place you were in at student orientation. So welcome back. And if I could all get you up to do the boogaloo, I would, but I'm not. There are times in your life, in anybody's life, that they certainly remember where they were at certain moments, when certain important events took place. And you can almost capture in your mind exactly where you were and what you did, where you were sitting, the smells around you, the people that were around you, all those kinds of things. This year will be such a year because from now on, Villanova does not only have to talk about 1985. And I think all of you will remember where you were at that moment. But today, we celebrate you. And we celebrate all the things that you have given to this university. Each and every one of you, when you began your journey, no matter how many years ago, no matter how many different changes in major, no matter how many successes or failures you might have experienced, all of you have contributed in one way to making Villanova a better place. St. Augustine says, "Become what you are not yet." And all of you, as you entered into this institution, started changing in one way or another. You are not the same people you were when you began. You've grown in so many different ways. You've gotten to know so many different kinds of people. You've had opportunities not only on this campus, but off this campus. You've had the opportunity to experience and achieve so much in so many ways. And Villanova is a better place because of you. And we give thanks for what you have given to Villanova. It is not just what Villanova bestows upon you, but each and every day what you have bestowed upon Villanova. And we will miss you. We will miss your energy, your enthusiasm, your leadership, your criticism, your times of pointing out the things that were wrong here, hopefully making us better. We will miss all of the things you have done here. And you give this institution into the hands of others, hands of other students who will continue to become what they are not yet. You have changed. You are different. And now you hold a degree. And you are part of the class of 2016. So I ask you to be champions in English, champions in art, champions in biology, champions in chemistry, champions in engineering, mechanical, civil, electric, computer. Be champions in accounting, finance, management. Be champions in nursing. Be champions in everything you do. For the class of 2016 will always be remembered as champions.
Why don't you stand for our benediction? It's my distinct honor to introduce Mr. Paul Tofano, Chair of the Villanova University Board of Trustees, himself a Villanova graduate, who will offer our benediction.
Before we pray, Please allow me to extend on behalf of my colleagues on the Board of Trustees the board's congratulations to our graduates and to your families. We share in the excitement, the pride, and the love that you feel on this joyous day because at Villanova, in the tradition of St. Augustine, we're a community. And so now as a community, let us pray. Lord, we gather today in the company of family and friends to honor the Villanova University class of 2016. Under your guidance, they have learned to lead with their minds and lead with their hearts. They have made new friends and developed new interests. They have grown, and their growth can be charted by measuring the depth of their character and the fullness of their spirit. And their achievements, both inside and outside of the classroom, remind us that Villanovans can change the world. May they always carry these gifts, and in the spirit of St. Thomas of Villanova, continue to find ways to use them to improve the lives of others. Today also marks their first day as Villanova alumni. Help them understand that while commencement may mean the end of their time as students, it also represents the beginning of their role as stewards of this great university. Guide them to remain involved in the Villanova community and to be active participants in shaping the university's future. Bless them and keep them on this and every day. We ask this in the name of Jesus our Lord. Amen.
Before we conclude our ceremony this afternoon, I'd like you, if you will, to listen to the following announcements. The stage party and faculty will use all aisles on the floor for the recessional. So we ask that you would stay, students and guests, please remain at your seats until the recessional has been completed. Tomorrow's college ceremony information is included on page 69 of your commencement program. And a reminder that our celebration ends tomorrow with the baccalaureate mass on the campus green. We encourage you all to participate in this beautiful tradition at Villanova University. Now, please join us in the singing of the Alma Mater, the words of which can be found on page 4 of your commencement program. The Alma Mater will be once again led by the senior students of our various on-campus musical groups. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the 173rd commencement exercises of Villanova University. Congratulations to the class of 2016.